Appellate jurisdiction is everything. If you think the judge got it wrong, it's vital to know when you can, and more importantly, can't appeal. Today's case involves a wife's attempt to undo her husband's modification of a revocable trust. Namely, he removed her as both trustee and beneficiary, then runs out and files for divorce. The husband contends the wife previously filed for divorce and took the marital cash with her before non-suiting the case. So this change was merely to prevent history from repeating, at least according to him. Regardless of why it was done, the judge denies the relevant part of the wife's emergency motion, which sought an injunction, sorta. The wife files a motion to reconsider, and by the time the judge denies this, and this is the very important part to today's commentary, more than 30 days had passed since the original denial. The wife files a notice of appeal. While the appeal is pending, she attempts to get the judge to enter a Rule 304A finding, but appears to, abandon it from the opinion, and instead of proceeding on the Rule 307A1 basis for appellate jurisdiction, argues the reviewing court has jurisdiction via Rule 304B1.
The city's flying. We're fighting an army of robots. And I have a bow and arrow. None of this makes sense.
Okay, fair enough. Let's look at it this way. If the judge got it wrong, the appellate court can't hear your case unless conditions are just right. It's kind of like that Goldilocks story we read as a kid. The porridge can't be too hot or too cold. Otherwise, you lose right out of the gate. When a case is still pending, generally you can't appeal anything the judge does that you find problematic. Instead, you have to wait until the case is over. But, and there's always a but, there are exceptions to this rule. Here, the wife tries 3 ways to get the appellate court to hear her issue. First, she tries via Rule 307A1, which gives the reviewing court jurisdiction over interlocutory orders granting, modifying, refusing, dissolving, or refusing to dissolve or modify an injunction. Now, at first glance, this lines right up with what the trial judge denied, an injunction request, but this doesn't work because mom waited until after the motion to reconsider was denied before filing the notice of appeal. And motions to reconsider toll the deadline to file a notice of appeal in final judgments under Rule 303. But, and yes, again, there's always a but, they don't toll jack squat for interlocutory orders. So mom says, hey, let's try Rule 304A. Now, it appears mom abandoned that, but had she pushed forward under Rule 304A, it probably wouldn't have given the appellate court jurisdiction. Rule 304A is designed for cases involving multiple counts, but the counts aren't really too interrelated. So if one was decided but others haven't, in certain situations you can say, hey judge, we want to appeal this one decided issue without waiting on the others to be resolved. But 304A, it doesn't confer jurisdiction where jurisdiction doesn't exist. In this case, it doesn't make a denial of a preliminary injunction, which is interlocutory, a final order. So what's left? Well, you got to give mom props for creativity here because she argues, hey, I'm trying to modify a trust. The judge denied it, so we have jurisdiction under Rule 304B1. Now, 304B1 says the appellate court can address Rule 304A situations without an express written finding in situations where there's a, quote, judgment or order entered in an administration of an estate, a guardianship, or other similar proceeding, which finally determines a right or status of a party, end quote. However, 304B1, it's just a 304A without an express written finding, and you can't squeeze an interlocutory matter like this into a Rule 304B1 situation. But, even if it wasn't the case, the appellate court makes clear the administration of a trust isn't the same as the administration of an estate, guardianship, or other similar proceedings, so it didn't matter whether it was interlocutory or not. In this case, it really comes down to this. No road leads to Rome, and the appellate court has to dismiss the appeal because they didn't have jurisdiction. Anyways, that's all I have. Thanks for watching.